I feel like G retirement is going to put Luke retirement to shame.
Can you imagine if that's a bad day, fourth in Worlds? I wouldn't mind that. That's my best ever result, was fourth in the Worlds. This might be a bit controversial, but Worlds are almost easier than a World Tour race.
What's occurring, bud?
What's occurring? How are you, mate?
Good, hanging in there. I've just come off an hour interview talking about you. So S4C, documentary coming out soon. I did check if you knew about it, so I wasn't, surprised and a secret, but just had an hour talking about you, mate.
Surprising a secret. Yeah, no, they've kind of been following all year as well, so it's it'll be interesting how that turns out.
I'll tell you how it's going to turn out. I spent an hour talking to them, and they'll use 12 seconds of it.
Yeah.
It's the way it always works, isn't it?
What else has been going on then apart from that?
Not a lot. I've just been at my desk. I'm fed up with my desk already, and I've only been doing this job a year. I've just been full gas desk life. But got a big day Thursday. Best man Tank's wedding.
Oh, yeah?
So done the speech, nailed it. Big day, full send.
Nice. Where's he getting married then?
I should know the answer to this. Fairies Way something? Fairies?
No idea. Sounds good, mate. Wherever it is. It'll be a good day, whatever happens, won't it?
Yeah, it's about an hour away. Something to do with fairies. Fairy Hill?
Fairy Hill, that rings a bell.
But how are you? Life on the beach or?
Not really, mate. 1 or 2 days, but I've been started running a bit now. Did a couple of 20-minute runs.
Heard about one of these.
Yeah, today I felt like I could have kept going, gone a bit quicker, but I was just like, if so many people have told me just build into it slowly because you don't want to with your knees and your ligaments and all that jazz, so slowly build into it. So been on the bike as well, just cruising around, so all good, mate.
I feel like G retirement is going to put Luke retirement to shame. You're on your bike and running.
Yeah, but I need some sort of goal. I'm hoping to do London Marathon. That would be a nice little goal to work towards, wouldn't it?
Do you know what I did for the first time last week? Unbelievable. If we're ever together, we'll have a game. Paddle.
Oh, we did that for the first time last week as well. We went up there with Eddie and Neve.
So good.
It was a good laugh, actually. Because it's not as... You don't have to be as precise as tennis, do you? Because the ball just bounces back to you.
I've done it once in my life. After 10 minutes, I bought my own racket. Went in the pro shop. I was like, this is class. Love it. Bought a racket. Yeah. Bam. All the gear, no idea. So, still awaiting my second game, but great sport in it. Paddle.
Yeah, it was good fun. Just to do something different as well. I want to... I've had one golf lesson in my life, but have a couple more just so I can actually get around the golf course and then...
Junk.
Not into it.
Boring, innit?
I don't know. I think once you kind of can get around, reasonably, I think it'll be quite a good crack.
I'll drive the buggy, meet you in the clubhouse, boy. Should we move on to some cycling, mate?
Yes, mate.
Worlds, Rwanda, based in Kigali. I think I pronounced that right. Rwanda's capital. So definitely a bit of a different worlds. Being in Africa, something new, different element to it. Any stories from the ground? Spoke to any of the boys over there?
A couple. I've just heard that it's really nice. They're in a nice hotel. The Aussies, this is actually. In a nice hotel, good food. Said the roads are really good. Said they look like they could be quite slippery if it rains, apparently. But said the people are really friendly, happy that it's there, and just all good vibes, basically.
Nice.
Because beforehand you're thinking Africa, and everyone has this perception of Africa, don't they? Just thinking it could be a bit sort of chaotic and whatever, and maybe the road's a bit dodgy, but anything but by the sounds of things.
Good to hear. Good to hear, mate. Let's crack on with the TTs, and we'll move on to the road race. Focus more on the road race. Everyone wants to know what's going to happen there. We'll try and give them some input, which will probably be wrong. But Remco done the triple.
Smashed it, didn't he? Yeah. Well, he was down as favourite for me, but I didn't expect him to dominate as he did. yeah, fair play to him. What can you say? And I think no one's won it 4 on the bounce, apparently. So this is his 3rd. What can you say?
Impressive.
How old is he? 25?
How old is the little bastard? Let's find out. If he gets much older, he's going to be the big bastard.
Yeah, he'll always be the little bastard, mate.
25. He's 26 in January.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. We'll wait till he's 30 and then we'll start calling him big bastard.
But Van Wilder did a ride as well, eh? Like 3rd, that was a shock for me. Obviously, Jay Vine expected him to do a good ride. I was thinking and hoping Plappy would go well. He was kind of there when he just lacked a bit. I think he was 6th or 5th or. But yeah, Van Wilder, mate. Like, I don't think many people would have had him down on the podium. Like,
no, mate. I think that's the standout ride, like you say. Well, Remco, of course, credit where it's due. Also to catch Poggy just before the finish line, like, what was it, 2.5 minute time gaps, and he caught him. Just incredible.
Must have been great for morale, that, mustn't it, for him?
Imagine looking up at a time trial and seeing Poggy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Van Wilder, I think, is the standout performance there.
Yeah. Just credit where it's due, mate. But then Pog, one thing on Pog, for a really bad underperformance, 4th place in the World's TT. Can you imagine if that's a bad day, 4th in Worlds? I wouldn't mind that. That's my best ever result, was 4th in the Worlds when I didn't have my Garmin.
Not a bad day. And do you know what as well? I think it's missing a few riders. Firstly, because it's in Rwanda, it's a hell of a travel. And secondly, the way the season structured this year, with the Worlds and Euros really close together. I think some people have gone, right, I'll target the Worlds, and some people have gone, I'll really target the Euros. The Euros TT, a lot easier course. Just taking like Stefan Biziger, for example. So he's focusing on the Euros TT. Thinks it's a course he could do well. Otherwise, he'd be at the World. So I think some guys have looked at the 2 TTs and said, that suits me more or that suits me more. So instead of doing both, they've kind of, some guys for sure will do both, but a lot of guys will focus on the Euros if the Worlds is slightly too hard.
Yeah,
maybe Ghana as well, no?
Yeah, exactly. But speaking about TT as well, did you see Zoe Backstedt? Absolutely smashed it, mate. In the
like 2 minutes or something, no?
Yeah. Fair play. That's a hell of a ride as well.
Nice Welsh girl.
Exactly.
Putting us on the map.
See. Great to see.
Well done, Zoe girl. No Brits in the men's TT though. What do you make of that?
I can kind of understand, if you like, because it's expensive, yada yada yada. But like for British cycling though, like, well, I don't know. They've got their budget and they prioritize certain things. But it's the world champs. Like, I don't know. Like, to be fair though, who would ride? Josh is obviously coming back from his injury. Ethan's had a good
hater.
Yeah, he's probably the only one that could have had a result, but he's going well as well. He won TT in Luxembourg, maybe, was it? Which was recently. Yeah.
Do you know
I think
what,
it's
mate?
more of a shame there's no women in the road race. I don't think they've got any British women in the world road race, which is that's bonkers to me. The TT is one thing.
Mate, I believe they only want to send a rider if it's a medal opportunity. Now, from what I understand, I think we're the richest cycling federation. Okay? So, more money than the Spanish, Italian, German, French federations. So, we can't use financial as an excuse. From what I take of it, if the approach is only send if you got a medal opportunity, I would just say you send whoever can perform best, and if it's a top 10 or it's a top 15 or it's a top 5 or a medal, whatever it is, great. But we, as a nation of GB, one of the more powerful cycling nations in the world now, men and women, we should be putting a lineup in every event. That's my take.
It's just for like the future as well, isn't it? Like if there's some young girls like, in a few years going to be competitive, that it's all good experience, it's all good, races to have in the bank and stuff. Like I kind of get it in that maybe they spent a lot of their budget last year was the Olympics, or was it? Yeah, last year. Like maybe, you know what it's like. Their whole funding for the 4-year cycle is based on the Olympics, so that has to take priority. So maybe they did overspend there, and they have to pay for it somewhere. But just sending girls to the come on, that's got to just factor in. That should be a non-negotiable, shouldn't it? Really, at the Worlds, send a team.
But also, mate, I completely get it. If they don't perform in the Olympics, they don't get the funding. So it's all going to be spent on the Olympics. But you got the track cycling, road cycling, BMX, everything. All the road cycling requires, all the professional men, all the professional women, all they require is Euros and Worlds. 2 events a year. You look at the track, most of them live in Manchester, most of them train in Manchester, most of them are supported by staff, physio, nutrition, everything, coaches in Manchester. From the road side of things, all you want, flight to the Euros, flight to the Worlds, look after me for a week there, a week there. If you can't back that, I'm not sure it quite cuts the mustard, mate.
Yeah.
But I'm not the CFO of British cycling, so maybe I'm wrong. But I'm right.
Yeah, it's always more complicated than what seems to me outside. But
no, it's not. G, we're right. Let's back ourselves. GB, send a squad. Come on, guys, we can do it. Let's go.
So how about the road race then? Let me just get the thing now. 267.5k. This is the men's road race, obviously. 5,000 more, just under 5,500 meters of elevation. Altitude between, I thought it was higher actually, but 1,100 to 1,500. So you don't go super high. It could potentially,
but you're always there.
Yeah, just at that sort of It's got this little berg that was in the TT, 1.3k cobbled thing. That's a lot of climbing, mate. It's probably it's been dubbed the hardest Worlds ever. So you can see why quite a few guys, Van der Poel, I don't think he's going. Mads Pedersen, I don't think he's going.
Nope.
Which is kind of a shame, innit? Because you don't want it that hard that it stops. Like Mads and Van der Poel, I saw something on Instagram the other day. It was Van der Poel, Pog, and Remco have won the biggest one-day races in the last 3 years, apart from Philipsen, who won San Remo at one.
Of the last 20 big races, between the three of them, they won 19.
Which is mental, isn't it? Yeah. And one of them, in Van der Poel, isn't even going to Worlds because it's super hard, which is a shame. Mads Pedersen had an incredible year, haven't he? Points jersey in Giro and the Vuelta. He's not going because it's super hard. I get it. Some days you want a really flat one, like a sprinter for Cav or, all the pure sprinters.
It's interesting to see how it develops, though. And also with the altitude meters, on Veloviewer, it says 5,200 meters. I've seen somewhere it says over 6,000. Veloviewer is usually pretty accurate. So 5.2. But it's 10 laps of a circuit, then 1 lap of a bigger circuit with a bigger climb, 5.8k at 6.5%. And then it comes back in.
Everyone's saying that's where Pog's going, don't they?
I mean, take that big lap out with the big climb. You have Van der Poel and Pedersen there. Then they can survive, 1.3k at 6%, 0.700 meters at 8% is the 2 climbs on the circuit. But it's just like death by 1,000 cuts, isn't it? Because if it's 16 laps, that's 16 times 1.3k at 5.7%. And 0.7k at 8%. Individually, the climbs, they're all capable of getting over it, but it's just it's gonna be a slow burn, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm getting the feeling it's kind of a cross between Flanders and Liège, then, isn't it? It's kind of, but Van der Poel's has he not been podium in Liège, 3rd or 4th?
Yeah.
If he's on top form, why not? Why could he not get over that? Or at least, the Dutch,
I think it would have been worth the flight.
Yeah, because it reminds me of Tokyo. Not Tokyo, Rio. Sorry, everyone's saying it's super hard, and then that's when Sagan went and did the mountain biking instead. Who goes and wins it?
Van Avermaet.
Do you remember? Van Avermaet, exactly. Who's a pure classics one day guy, not really seen as. It seemed like it was supposed to be way too hard. It's supposed to be a climber's
Who was
race.
second?
So, well, I crashed out on the last corner. Fuglsang was second.
Who was
Or was
third?
he third? Rafa Maika was third.
Spot on. Yeah, that's the yeah.
Still
God,
gets
we're
me to this
good at
day.
this,
That
aren't we?
actually should have
Good at
been there
this.
sprinting for a medal, mate.
Should
But-
you?
Oh, mate, it was only Rafa in front of me and South African young small guy, Menkes.
Louis Menkes.
Yeah, we were
Aye.
second and third on the road. Crashed on the final corner of the descent, 10k to go.
No.
Greg, Fuglsang, one other were behind, and yeah, I was crashed out then, and yeah,
They were behind. So you were first and
Yeah.
second on the road.
second and third. Rafa was like 10 seconds in
Aye.
front because he was with over the top. He was with Nibali and Sergio Henao.
Yeah,
Nibali and Sergio crash on the descent.
Yeah.
We go past. I'm like, whoa, blimey, Charlie! Like, and then very last corner, back wheels skipping out, end up in that storm drain thing.
Yeah.
Then the girl did it. Then a couple of days later, crashed on the very same corner
Van
down in that
Vleuten, I think,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, so
I remember that descent, there was just horrific crashes. The camera
Oh.
was just going down like there's a body, there's a body, there's a body. It was just
there was like no flow to it either. Some properly tightened up, some were bumpy, some were smooth, some were gravelly. Like,
yeah.
anyway, enough of that. That was 2016, mate. But so yeah, my point is, you just never know. Like, obviously, Pog, the way he's been going this year, everyone expects him just to ride off into the sunset. But I think Remco's going to have a lot of confidence after that TT. Like, Remco's the type of guy as well who, after a few big results, he for sure he's going to be feeling invincible now. So that's going to be really interesting. And Pog, I would never write Pog off, As we said, fourth in the world. So yeah, such a bad result, So he's going to be out to prove a point. So they're the two favourites, aren't they? But then you got like Pidcock, obviously. He's another guy, when he's high on confidence, can ride incredibly well after the Vuelta.
Pidcock,
who else is there?
they got Onley as well. Alaphilippe.
Yeah.
Okay, never rule him off. He just won
Quebec. Yeah.
Ciccone for Italy. Arisman for Holland. Slovenia got Pog and Rog.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, back to the French. Gregoire, mate. For me, he's a bit of an outsider. Coming off the back of Tour Britain. Like you say, him, Alaphilippe, Pavel, Bruno. Is Bruno riding? Like, they've got a strong, potentially, they've got a really, Madouas, maybe?
Madouas,
I'm just thinking of French guys. I don't know who. Waistband. Like, that's some squad, that is. Like, the Americans, mate. Americans are going well.
Gregoire's not riding.
Is he not?
Julian Alaphilippe, Louis Barret, Julien Bernard, Jordan Giguet, Valentin Madouas, Valentin Paripant, Paul Sexus, come on my boy, and Pavel Sivakov.
Oh, still a strong team. I'd have Gregoire
Very strong
in there,
team.
though, mate. But
100%. But maybe
Then
they're
look at the
splitting the
Americans.
forces. Euros.
yeah, they're in France as well, aren't they? But yeah, you got Quinn Simmons. You've obviously got McNulty coming off from Montreal. Paulus. Americans are strong, mate. They're not like top tier favourites, but they could ride. If they ride aggressively and are on the front foot, mate, they'll be in the fight for a podium for sure. Winning for sure.
Mate, the US team is one that baffles me because we spoke before about how well they performed in Canada and who they could be sending, and they finished third and fourth in Montreal. And there's no McNulty, there's no Paulus.
Oh.
But it baffles you, doesn't it? They
Should
could
have looked at their start list, really, shouldn't I?
No, but they could potentially
Why aren't
put
they
one of
going?
this. Why aren't they going? They got Quinn Simmons, so they got Will Barter, Luke Lamperti. He's going to struggle. Quinn Simmons, Kevin Van Mark, Larry Warbase, and Magnus Sheffield. They're missing some hitters, mate.
That's a bit crazy, that, isn't it?
It's crazy, yeah. They're missing some. I mean, a week before you travel. Hang on, Montreal, won by McNulty. Big test. I think it's like 4,500 meters. Quite similar.
Super
won in
hard
fine
race,
fashion,
yeah.
and he hasn't travelled. I don't know why.
Well, There we go. Well, they'll still be strong. Like Queen Simmons is strong, isn't he? Yeah, it'll be interesting. The Worlds are always a bit funny like that, though, aren't they? You know, like, for exactly that point, it just seems like this might be a bit controversial, but Worlds are almost easier than a World Tour race because you have a load of other nations in there that wouldn't normally be in a World Tour race. So, you know, like the Commie Games, for instance, is an extreme example. There's maybe 30 guys that can podium or win. The rest never going to get there. And it's similar in the Worlds, but there's obviously more than 30. But I don't know, it's diluted slightly.
No, the strength and depth isn't as strong. Yeah, exactly. Because in any World Tour race, you're going to have 30 Belgians, 30 French, 30 Italians. Yeah, you're likely not to have the lesser nations. Like we got, Eritrea with 6 guys. You got, a lot of nations. Mali, Mauritius.
It's still a very worthy winner. Don't get me wrong. There's still a hell of a lot of strong guys. Someone we didn't mention, Del Toro. For me, he's a big podium shout. Ayuso.
And Del Toro's just been flying, mate. In every one day, he's just been smashing them.
Yeah. He's going to be right up there, I think. I reckon he's going to win the Tour soon, mate. Del Toro, he's going to be the one to take over from. If I had to say now, today, I know this is going way off on a tangent, but after Pog's reign and Jonas, Del Toro.
Mate, I mean, what he did in the Giro, first Grand Tour, incredible. Like, some questionable tactics, but we have had our rant about that. But mate, 100%.
Yeah. So how about British hopes then? Pidcock, Onley, Fred left.
Too hard for Fred left. Fred wrong. Too hard for him, I think.
Yeah. Surely everyone's got to be there to help Tom and Onley. And you'd probably have Tom as the main one. Onley as a nice backup. It sounds disrespectful, but you know what I mean. Second in command.
Yeah, post-tour, pre-Vuelta, I'd have gone Onley's the best guy. Tom backup. Maybe 5,000 metres a bit too hard for Tom. Now, this current day, off the back of Tom's Vuelta, I'd say 2 guys, they're pretty similar. I would, if I'm looking after the national team, I wouldn't say one there's one there. I just go in, keep the door open for 2 guys to perform. They're supported by quite a strong team. They can back them for as long as they need to back them for, really, until the race really explodes. I'd say 2 guys with the goal of having 2 guys really deep in the final. I think it's going to explode on that big climb on the bigger lap, 6K, 6.5%, solid, quite relatively deep into the race, 2/3 in. You just need 2 guys in the game after that.
Yeah, I think there'll be a big fight for the break, I think a lot of teams are going to want guys up the road. When you think like if Pog's going to go like full beans up there, or someone full, like you're going to want, if Fred left or someone's up the road, it'll help out a lot, won't it?
Just to guarantee yourself another guy in the final, or the final-ish. But the Slovenian team is strong, man. Poggi, Roggi, Mohoric, Novak, he's been flying. Then it falls away slightly. But they got Mezgec and 4 other guys I'm not too sure of. But as a 5, they're strong. And they've obviously got 9 guys.
All fully committed as well. Apart from Rog, all fully committed to Pog, Well, to both of them. Who knows what their tactics are, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, when you got Pog in your team, like, it's easy to commit then, isn't it? You see it with UAE all the time. Like, when Pog's there, it's just boom. Everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone does what he does, what he wants. Yeah. As soon as he's not there, like the Vuelta, it's like, poof, chaos. Every man for himself.
Another guy who just pops up in these big one-day races, Carapaz.
Yeah, Olympic champion.
Olympic champion.
Well, from before.
Another big dog we're missing, of course, Vingegaard. I mean, he's not known for his one-day races. He doesn't often, rock up at Lombardia or Liège even, really. But, of course he's had a huge year, hasn't he? Tour of Vuelta. But how often are you going to get World Championships with the hardest ever with 5,000 meters. You know, he'd have the full backing of the team. They've got Skelmos as leader. Mads Pedersen's not there. I mean, the Danish are strong at the moment, but a bit of a surprise to see him not there with 5,200 meters of climbing.
Yeah. I think it's just, like you say, though, he's just had a big year, haven't he? Especially coming back from his crashes before.
Can't do everything.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to prioritise. And second in the Tour, first in the Vuelta is not too bad, is it? So we'll let him off. Yeah.
You'll probably be more techie and know more about this. How much of an impact does it have that it's raced at altitude-ish, like 1.1 to 1.5 within that range? What impact will that have?
I don't think too much, to be honest. Like, I think it's more once you get over 15, 1600, that's when it starts to have more of an effect when you're going uphill. So I think it's just at that limit. Like, it still might play a part over, 6 hours and such a long race. But yeah, I think it'll be minimal, really. And all these boys, like the top guys, they all perform at altitude anyway. They know what they're doing. Roglic, I saw his wife the other day, actually, and she was saying he was up at Isla, and so he's been preparing well for it. I think everyone would have. I think Quinn's been preparing well over in America somewhere, haven't he? He was at altitude before, Canada and stuff. So I think everyone's going to be fine at that altitude, to be fair. But,
and then temperature-wise, they're looking at, for race day, 26, 28 degrees, like in that kind of bracket. So not crazy, relatively, again, these boys are conditioned for it. Relatively comfortable conditions. When it gets over 30, 32, 35, it starts to get pretty severe, but that's all right.
That's
26,
just
28.
The one dangerous thing with that, though, is like that's still pretty hot, and it's easy to be like, it's only 26, 28, and you kind of don't have as much of it in your mind as if it was 32, and it's easy to cook yourself then, not drink enough. But yeah, it sounds simple, doesn't it? But it's so easy to just forget to drink or not drink enough. But yeah, no, it's going to be exciting, mate. I'm looking forward to watching.
A lot of different elements to it. Obviously, the one climbs on cobbles as well. They're relatively smooth, but as soon as you ride cobbles, there's the added risk of punctures. One little concern for me is when you the time trial looked great, but you look at like some images of Tour of Rwanda on that cobble climb, and the crowds are like everywhere, all over the road. And I would say, no disrespect, but it's not a nation they're used to having closed roads, events, cycling, a peloton that's going to come along and use at times every inch of the road. So you'd hope, the fans are aware and off the road. There's no issues there. And that's no disrespect. It's just when you go to Belgium and anyone on the side of the roads knows what to expect. They're going to fly past. They're going to be right in the gutters. They're going to use all the road. They're stepping back. You go to race Tour of Britain, they're more on the roads. They're just not used to it.
You throw them a bottle and they're looking at the bottle like, what are you throwing that at me for?
Throw that at me for, you dickhead. Yeah.
But no, it's going to be a great race, mate. But
right, mate, one question before we go. Which 3 riders will be on the podium in no specific order?
I want to go a bit rogue, but I can't see past Pog and Remco. Although, Remco's like, if he gets marked out of it, he could like lose his head a bit, get a bit angry. Tom, want to say Tom. So I'll just go for the standard, those 3. I want to say someone like Quinn Simmons, mate. Like someone like him, I think can do a really good ride. No, Del Toro as well. No, Del Toro, Pog, and Tom.
All right, I'm just gonna send it. I'm going Del Toro, Simmons, and Carapaz. That's where I'm going. There we go. Carapaz, Simmons, Del Toro in no specific order. We'll come back to it next week and see how we went.
Look forward to it, mate. On that note, I've got to shoot. Meetings, mate.
Meetings.
Meetings.
Boom. Have a good one, fella. Catch you later.
All right, but in a bit now.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.